Hey, time for Spider and Olde Scooter again. Spider Solitaire, the iMac default version, run by and overseen the artificial intelligence Spider McGillicuddy. We call her Spider Mac for fun and for irony. And this is Olde Scooter, old meaning 80, Scooter meaning me, and we're here to play the game. This particular game is going to be called Death's Large and Small Game. That's the dedication for this. I'll be explaining that. I witnessed and participated in deaths today. I'm not a big fan of death, actually. So let's push aside that morbidity of words and play the two-suit version. There is a four-suit version you can see, and heaven knows there's all these things, but we don't play them. We just play two suits because it's a subtle game, but it's not impossibly complex. And I find myself avoiding impossible complexity somehow lately. Look, I've got a lot of plays. So if you're new, you play the smaller card on the larger card, like that 10 on the jack. The natural plays are in the same suit. Queen on queen, another queen on a queen. I'm not seeing any opportunities to play black on black, so I'll look for an opportunity to go across the color line, so to speak. Now I've got a queen, goes to that king, and so forth. So I'll be playing along here as I can. I'm not a, premier player. I'm not fast. I'm not super accurate. I don't win more than the average dude. But I really enjoy it, and I find it's good for getting my mind off things, although lately a habit has formed. As I tell you what the game is dedicated to, because I think around what's significant today, oh boy, and come up with something like the Death's Large and Small name, which I'll get to in a minute. But in the meantime, I play along. And it doesn't, if I talk about something like politics, I may have to mention Jared Kushner here. But if I do, I won't have the tightness in my stomach that sometimes I do. The game has this calming, de-stressing effect. I really do like this game. And she is an amazing, amazing critter. This is a hint of what's going to come down the road with artificial intelligence. Watch out. So I'm looking, I'm not seeing anything that I can move and make hay with, or straw, as the case may be. Living in the country, you learn there's a significant difference between hay and straw. Don't ask. Alright, so we're on the second deal. I have not punched any holes in the thin blue line. I'm close here on one. These guys are stubborn. They're like Marines in a foxhole. You have to dig them out. You have to blow them up to get anything done. Not to get all militaristic on you here, but that's the way I see it. Well, see, if I just babble on, sometimes I'll see another move or two. But she will cloud my mind every night, at least once, sometimes twice, where I won't see an obvious move. It's magic. So many old songs. Down the tubes. I think I'll see what's under there first. Well, it's something. It's something else. Do two somethings equal a something thing, or a something? These questions haunt the mind of thinkers. You know any thinkers? You know any really heavy-duty thinkers? People who think, a lot? I guess inventors are thinkers. I do know some inventors. Even dabbled in the old invention game myself. Maybe someday I'll tell you about it. Oh, it was a marvelous beast I built, with only one flaw. No one was interested in it but me. You can sort of relate to that, I bet, considering this silly game. Twitch for old people, that's my theme. You gotta watch Twitch. You just gotta go check it out. Twitch.tv. And they play games, not this kind of game, but world-building games, role-playing games, massive multiple-player games, shoot-'em-up games of the first-person shooter type, racing games. You've heard of a bunch of them. And they're amazing. The guys and gals who put those together are the novelists of our time. Of course, we still have novelists. I being one, I can now say that with something less than deep humiliation, because now I have 2 books. One book doesn't qualify you, unless you're what's her name. You see any moves? Are you looking? Are you paying attention? I don't see any moves, good, bad, or indifferent. But I know there's something. See, now I've got a hole. Finally punched through the thin blue line. Had to block out a king-queen, but that's no problemo. But I could have done this. No, I couldn't. I could do this and this. See? Because the only place you can play a king is a hole. So you might as well take advantage of it. That's what I tell my friends down on the river. Take advantage of it. Well, it was a brief spurt of success. Like a surge, like the surge. Now we have several surges, but the surge was in Iraq. And it will always be thought of by certain folks as a huge success. And we shouldn't deprive them of that misconception. People need to have something to hold on to and to believe in. And a lot of people believe the surge was a big success. Well, that's something to believe in. Could have done that, then I might forward. Maybe, you see, now I'll take back a couple of moves to try something that's maybe better. And it's not clear that it was. But it didn't cost me anything to experiment. That's one of the good things about this version of the game. The iMac version. Is you can try stuff. Take your moves back, not be charged for them. Moves cost $1 a pop, as long as they're counted, up until you've made 50 moves, and suddenly they cost $10 a pop, as you've heard me bemoan before. Oh dear. There's probably something way more productive people can do than watch other people play games. That may be going against my own interest to say that, but it seems like a fair observation. I saw data today about how many fewer people under 30 have started a company than just 20 or 30 years ago. Like it's gone from 20% of all the companies were started by people under 30 to like down 6%. I'll get those numbers someday. This is not the place to come for accurate numerical news stories. But you know the places to go. Just go to the ones that tell the truth. Is that too much to ask? 6? No, I saw that. I thought I saw a move. Well, we're down almost to the last. We are to the last deal, unless I find something miraculous here. Unlikely. Well, I could do this, then this. And it's questionable whether I'm better off, but at least I made some moves, which make me feel a little better. I know that's not your objective. You don't care how I feel. In fact, you hope I feel defeated most of the time. She is a ferocious competitor. All right, last deal. Hospice round is afoot. Some stuff, just little moves to make, just shuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic as people who can't think of anything original to say a lot. Sometimes I can't think of a thing original to say. A friend of mine said, good, and just shut up, and play the game. But I'm a driven talker. Okay, I'll say something about Jared Kushner, since I seem to be losing here. Maybe I can distract you with something clever about Mr. Kushner. Today's news is all about maybe he's trying to set up a backroom communication channel with the Russians in last December, after the election, but before the inauguration, to have a secure line between the Trump campaign and the Russians. Some of the news stories have said and Putin, but hello, Vlad. Got time to chat? So I'm pretty much done here. But how did he know it was a secure line from the Russian embassy straight to Moscow that the CIA or the NSA or any of our listener boys couldn't have caught? Otherwise, why would you want to quote secure line if it wasn't secure and you knew it? Just ask yourself that question. Oh, yeah. And we learned stuff. I think the Washington Post had the story about, pardon me, how Mr. Kushner called for a hit job on a banker he and his family were having some disagreements with, which would make it, of course, intentional slander or libel if the word got out that he wanted a hit job. Luckily for him, I guess the story was never published because there was no story there. He wanted one. If I did that, of course, I'd bear that king, and I can do that. And, well, that would be silly. It's already on a king, queen, jack. So it was a little dust up in the South 40, where maybe you thought the horses had escaped, but it was just a dust devil. Well, that's the end of the game, my friends. I appreciate your putting up with it. I hope you play this game sometimes. It's addictive. Be careful. She is a succubus of games. She pulls you in and seduces you and makes you think, oh, I can win. And then you can't. Gamblers of the world unite. We are misunderstood. I'm not a gambler, actually. I associate my mind with gambling. Oh, here's another little restack. See? No, look at this. I can do that. Now, if I didn't have a 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. If I had an ace, I'd have a score. You think I was just sitting on that to drag out the game and to add a little unexpected pizzazz at the end, but I, honest to heaven, did not see it till then. And we're almost out of time, so high time, bye time.